all set. Okay. Took me a few tries there. The horizontal vertical thing keeps messing with me. All right, let's see. Maybe I should pull up the chat here in front of me. Mm-hmm. 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 I don't know, man. The hair's growing on me for sure. For sure. Here we go. Live chat. I want the live chat option. Boom, boom. All right. So, what's up, everybody? Maybe the Blaze On conversation yesterday, like I said, this wasn't anything real scientific. This was just me being like sitting here thinking about that for a few moments. And probably maybe, but then I would, not even my own personal opinion, other songs that were recommended, and there was five of them that I have to be like, if not more, like even more, like I hate to use the word hated, but whatever, you know. Numberline, Soul Planet, Everything's Right, More, and Santos. Hey, what's up, Harold Hood? What's up, man? Randy? Dan Z? So yeah, if I had my choice between Santos and Blaze On, I think I'm taking Santos. Like if I could if I'm at the show and Trey points at me and he's like, "What do you want to hear? More or Blaze On?" Blaze On for sure. Everything's Right now. I think I'm still going with Blaze On. Because my thought process there would be, ooh, everything's right. That could go on for 20 plus minutes. I'm going Blaze On. Soul Planet, that's an easy Blaze On. And then Numberline, yeah, that's also another easy Blaze On. And all five of those are pretty much heavy in the rotation as well. There was a few other songs recommended that I was like, yeah, but I don't know. Like somebody said Yarmouth Road, like, yeah, for sure. I'd probably take Blaze On over Yarmouth Road. But we don't have to deal with Yarmouth Road too often. I think someone suggested Wombat. That was another one, not played too often, so it's all right here. But yeah, Numberline, Soul Planet, Everything's Right, More, and Santos. I think I would take Blaze On over all of those. Somebody was like, No Men in No Man's Land reminds them of a Tom Jones song. Now every time I hear that song, it's all I'm going to think of. I'm going to be like, where's the chicks throwing panties at Trey? All right, so we got some people here chatting. What's up, man? What's up? Long time listener, first time caller. What's up, Max? Michael Wilburst. What's up, dude? Brian. Hey, Brian, you caught a live. You'll take almost anything over Blaze On or Autist. Jerry's lost finger. Go Colts. Yeah, man. I don't know. Yeah, go Colts. But, I don't feel sorry for you, man. You know how many times the NFL has apologized to the Browns because of blown calls? Just a couple weeks ago, in fact, in a game. So, sucks that it ended that way, but I feel your pain and you get zero sympathy. I am a big fan, however, of Drew Ogletree. Big Drew Ogletree fan here. I don't know if Blaze On, if I would label it a typical opener. I feel like they try to throw that thing everywhere and it doesn't really matter. But I also think they're very comparable songs, as in like, they're both just like, no, I don't want to hear them. They're comparable in that sense. Hey, what's up, Max? What's up? Okay, Brian likes it because it's pretty easy to play on drums. Oblivion or Pillow Jets? Yeah, probably Oblivion, just because that one part in Pillow Jets, like, I strongly dislike. I mean, even being there a lot live, I wasn't down. So I'm thinking I'm going Oblivion easily there. Yeah, and probably Set Your Soul Free. I actually said Soul Planet, Michael, but I think probably over both of the Soul songs. Yeah, Santos definitely does. And one thing I wouldn't complain about Santos is it's usually closing a set, closing a night, so it's not like it's not like it's hogging up, 14 minutes right in a crucial spot in the second set or something like that. And, it's also one of those songs that's just easy to poke fun of, really. And it's gotten a little bit overplayed. And another thing, I hate it when things are predictable. Like the moment I heard More and the moment I heard Santos, it was like, oh boy, these are going to be like set closing anthems. And I kind of hate that I was right. I kind of love when things are unpredictable, Like, I don't know. The first time I heard No Men in No Man's Land, I was like, I bet you this thing is going to light up the jam chart for a couple of years. I would have never thought that. Yeah, Martin, Light had some down years there. Light had some strong years, and then like as I was trying to get people were like, all right, man, this guy won't shut up about Light. What's going on with Light? And then it kind of, every now and then it still pops though. But, the album version of Light, obviously, I'm not throwing that on a playlist very often. Oh, there's been others, but I would assume that yeah, the one at the Baker's Dozen was really good. I mean, that's almost every song, man. Hey, what's up? Happy Thursday to you too, Michelle. I'm getting used to it a little bit. Yeah, I'm starting to. I've pushed it back enough over and over again where it is kind of staying out of my face a little, so I can deal with that. I still don't like the natural part in the middle. Went bought a Browns t-shirt today, made myself feel a little better. Oh, Brian, I kind of remember that, but I see, I don't totally, but I do, I kind of vaguely do remember that. I've probably said some shit over that. I don't even know what I've said. Yeah, them earlier songs, you're right, totally. I mean, like a song like Esther, my God. Like that is certainly not your traditional vocal lyrics or whatever. And then yeah, Lizards, a lot of that early stuff, Fluffhead. Every now and then, it's fine. It's not that like every song that's like chorus, verse, chorus, whatever. It's not like they're all going to be bad, but hmm, I had a lighter in here somewhere. Oh, I do, in fact. I do, in fact. Yeah, you're right. The very first Santos is probably, it's not really fair to say. Kind of same thing with the Chilling Thrilling. When I was listening to that recently, I still feel, I still think, I still can't, I still am a little, I think they've dropped the ball a little bit with Martian Monster. I feel like it could be more. I was a little surprised to see when I looked at the jam chart on .net. I'm like, okay, they've done a little more with it. Max does like 150, 555, 155. Yeah, I do too. I think that's a song that I'm definitely in the minority. There's not a ton of people that love 555. In fact, somebody I think brought up 555 and Halfway to the Moon as songs that they're really not after, and they don't play them a ton anymore. Like there was a while there when 555 was heavy rotation. And Halfway to the Moon, I like it when it's like once every 25 shows or something. I like some Page, and there's a need for it there, especially as Trey has a little problems with vocals some nights. We could totally get 4 songs where Trey has no vocals at all, really. Maybe get some kind of instrumental, like a 2001 type, a Page song, and 2 Mike songs. Maybe even throw in an ass handed or something like that. I would be total. There's so many good Mike songs. I don't know. Even crazy sometimes. I see people are sort of back and forth on. Good eyes and ears, Loudon. Yeah, I think I caught a Life Boy at the very first show when I really got into Fish too. Or was it Dirt? But one of them like older kind of ballads. My first show, or not my first show, but the first show where I was like, wow, this is awesome. Got a Wilson opener, a Nasty Free, and I think a Life Boy sprinkled in there. That was one of them songs I'd listen to when one of my friends weren't around, but I really secretly loved Life Boy. As I've grown up, it's like whatever. I like Life Boy. I just can't believe there are still, I don't know. It's crazy. There's still people that maybe are like there. I was just saying, like, I was a little afraid to admit I liked Life Boy. It's still crazy to me that there are fans that are like, I don't know. I like that song, but I don't want to say it. Or I hate that song, but I don't want to say it. It's the internet, man. It's a crazy place. Got a YEM at your first one, huh, Max? Hey, what's up, Spud? I know we're a little early for you, Spud. Spud's a serious late night guy. But without the late night job, it's hard. It's hard to wait around all day. What songs you mean, Brendan? What songs need to come back? I don't know. It's a good question. I know there for a while, I was looking at the songs that appeared to be, well, Divided Sky is one that seems to get less playtime now. But there were a few noticeable songs that went from somewhat regular, and they were good songs that people generally seem to like. Yeah, Life Beyond a Dream. But there are people that love that song. It's crazy. Yeah, Harry, I could see that. Same thing with Hoist, I believe. I believe when I first got into the band, there was complaints about the Hoist album still, and that you might hear somebody be like, "Man, they've been playing Wolfman's Brother since that album came out, and I'm just sick of it." And whatever, same as I keep losing connection over there. Does this look bad? Ooh, I'm a little worried about the Seahawks game. Once again, rolling with PJ Walker, so I'm a little worried about that game. Oh, you want Silent in the Morning back in the rotation, huh? Looks like Horn. Sorry, Spud, earmuffs. It looks like Horn is falling out a little bit. Yeah, man, I love Wolfman's. Like a Wolfman's from like '98 all the way through now. I do feel like it was one of the songs that was hurt a little bit by the brief shutdown there in 2020 or whatever, the 18 months or so. Hey, what's up, Mrs. Spud? I was telling Mary you're all lined up now. You got your own handle and everything. Pebbles and Marbles always going to be welcomed. Even when that came out, like Sense and Subtle Sounds, that was a song that, got played a ton back in '03 and has taken a major backseat. But I feel like even when Pebbles and Marbles was new, it never got a ton of play. You're right, Birds of a Feather has taken a little bit of a backseat. But then there's also a handful of old songs that I feel like get a little bit more run now. Maybe Gotta Jaboo is one of them that you wouldn't have expected to have gotten 3 or 4 times this year, or something like that. Something like this, something like that. They still sure play Maze a lot. I love Maze. Prince Caspian kind of staying there, somewhat of a regular. What's the use? I feel like maybe it's lost a play or two. Just kind of looking at some whiteboards here. Boy, that sample in a jar from Chicago. I really did like that. I never needed you like this before. It didn't quite take off this year. Nothing I'm really complaining about that. About to Run, I guess that's one that's maybe 50-50. I like it. I'm glad it's a regular. Yeah, maybe Runaway Jim, not as much. Dan Z's Cavern, I think Dan Z called Cavern like every show this summer. A handfall. And MSG in Mexico. Gumbo, I'm okay. I gotta say, I love Gumbo, but somehow I don't miss it. Yeah, Fast Enough for You, man. That's been on the shelf for a while, it seems like, right? I'm over it too. That song used to make me sad. Now I like it again. Somebody tell Trey that it doesn't make me sad anymore. He won't get a bad review if he plays it. Yes, but it was interesting that more than one person was like basically everything post Farmhouse. I'm not really into. One person said maybe they have no attachment to any of those songs. I feel like okay, yeah, obviously that's not their best stuff post Farmhouse, but there's definitely some good stuff in there. Like I think recently I was convinced that Round Room is way better than I give it credit for, especially now when these songs live have kind of everything sort of played itself out a little bit. Woody B's in the house where I missed him. Hey, there's Woody B. Woody B, you're often spoke about and often missed. Been trying some live streams again, trying to rework that 2020 Magic Woody B, but it's just kind of not happening, man, to fill you in. All right, so to move on past the Blazon Santos, everything's right battle, I got to tell you guys about the neighborhood drama before we get too long. And quickly, if you don't know, yeah, this neighbor over here, I got a little freaked out because he put a huge banner on his garage door that said, "My neighbor is a Karen." And I didn't think it was me, but I didn't want people thinking it was me, especially now with this kind of Karen looking haircut. I was a little concerned. Turns out it's all good. It was the lady next to him, like kind of like I thought. There's an elderly woman who's lived there ever since I moved in. And well, recently, I guess she's having some trouble. So her daughter has moved in. Well, the daughter and this guy are not hitting it off to the point to where he's like taunting her with flags and banners. He's got the big banner on the side of his house now that just says, "Shut up, Karen." And then he still has my neighbor as a Karen, but he's at least moved it away so nobody could confuse me as the Karen. It's pretty obviously her now. And the police have been involved a couple times. It's gotten a little bit ridiculous. Well, today there were cops everywhere. We just kept hearing sirens, and Mary was like, "What is going on, man? Did someone get murdered?" Well, turns out someone shot a police officer. The police officer is going to be all right, but he was shot like 3 times. And so after all this commotion, turns out we didn't know it at the time, but both ends of our street and like Main Street and up there, all this stuff's blocked off, right? And well, I guess the perimeter of like the whole area was right in front of his house, right next door. There's like police officers just blocking the road, sirens going, like people pulling up in like unmarked cars and getting out wearing bulletproof vests. Guy had a big bag, looked like, man, I was like, I think that's like a long rifle or something in there. So it was crazy. And Mary's, I was like, dude, I think maybe they tried to go over here and talk to this guy and he freaked out. He's in there. And then, like, it starts hitting the news and it's like an officer was shot. The suspect has barricaded himself in his home. And I was like, oh my God, he's over there with a gun refusing to come out. Like, he was like, that lady's a Karen. I ain't done nothing wrong. Get off my lawn. And well, turns out not the case at all. Like I said, his house, I think, was just the perimeter of the whole thing where everything was kind of blocked off. But it was just like, if I walked out to the end of my street, I could kind of see where the suspect is dead. He was, I don't know, self-inflicted or not. And he ran to a house next to his house or something. I don't know. I didn't get all the details. And then next thing you know, this guy's out here mowing his lawn. I was like, oh man, I was kind of hoping he was going to be put in the slammer. Once I heard the cop was okay, it was like, and I don't know, they were just serving a warrant on some dude. I didn't even hear exactly what the warrant was for, but for about an hour there, we thought for sure that something happened with the neighbor. He was refusing to be arrested, and he was locked in his house with guns. We're like, we know he's got guns. You're like, you think that guy's got guns? Mary's like, I know he has guns. I was like, yeah, he does. He's totally got guns. So a little not that bad. It's like, oh no, man. And like in 5 years living here, I don't think there was ever any police activity here, like ever, maybe. Like one time the cops drove by late at night with this big giant spotlight, like they were looking for somebody that was on foot. And that was about as dicey as it got. And then yeah, several times now with the Karen situation over here. And now I don't know, man. They just try to pull somebody over and serve a warrant and he just starts shooting them. A little too close to comfort, catch a stray one or something. So hopefully that'll be it. And then the new people just moved in across the street like a week or two ago. They're probably like, what have we done, man? I'm gonna give them that movie The Burbs by with Tom Hanks on Blu-ray. Go to check that out. I know, man. Spud used to be a nice little suburban community over here. I was almost excited when it was. I was like, we know. And the best part about this guy is I got another nosy neighbor over here. Luckily, she does a lot of the snooping for me, and then relays the info to me. She went over here and just asked the guy, like, "What's up? Who's the Karen? All right, is it Kevin?" And then, anyhow, the conversation they have leads to them being in my front yard and him like pointing at the ground, being like, "I'm not crazy. It's her." Like, I don't know, man. You're out there like, man, you're seeming a little crazy from what I'm seeing inside. So, I wouldn't have been shocked at all. But then shooting a cop didn't seem like his thing, unless he was just so angry that he was like, I'm not in the wrong here. I'm not the crazy one. I don't know. I think the cop's going to be all right. Everything's going to be fine. All right. So where are we at over here? I don't know who's the brand. I think I heard the guy's a college football fan. I didn't hear anything about NFL. I feel like he maybe is not an NFL fan. I mean, like the Bengals or Browns. Cleveland definitely hates John Elway. That was the end of the stories, but sorry. I know I look up and it's all I see is Browns talk. I was like, oh, damn, I guess that story sucked. Everybody's just like, what's up with PJ Walker? I'm like, come on, man. I thought my neighbor shot a cop over his Karen neighbor. You guys care more about PJ Walker. It's just it's like even when the Browns get it right somehow, it's not that signing Deshaun with that and everything was right, but I mean it's like come on, we got to admit we thought they had a quarterback. Think what you want to think of him as a person. The NFL seemed to forgive him. I love Kareem Hunt. I like Kareem Hunt. Let's take it easy with the I love Kareem Hunt. I'll calm down over there with the I love Kareem Hunt. All right. He's okay. He's been a serviceable player on the Browns. And, at some point, Professor Joe LaRocca, he's always talking about this when he's discussing films and actors and producers and directors. At a certain point, man, you just got to make a decision. Am I going to separate the art from the artist, the athlete from the sexual assault? And I mean, just like either you're not going to watch sports or you're just going to have to deal with that. You're kind of living in pig shit sometimes with these sports. So, but it just seems odd that people want to bang on Deshaun for what he did, but then they love Kareem Hunt. They're like, there was signs, and everybody just loves him, Uncle Kareem. And like, we got videotape of him trying to kick a woman. Like, if it wasn't for like multiple people holding him back, he would have had a serious assault. But I don't know. It's just how it's weird how we pick and choose. Like, Kareem Hunt is fine. He didn't actually kick the woman. He tried, He might have got a little bit in there. I can't remember. It's just bizarre. So anyhow, my point was we thought we had it figured out. And then, okay, we got Nick Chubb. Even if the quarterback situation isn't right, oh, I don't know. That's like great. Build an offensive line. That was smart. And then injuries. Everybody has injuries. But boy, the injuries to the Browns sure seem to be just like gut punches. Oh, the Seahawks are going. I like those old 80s, like Steve Largent era uniforms. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Did the Browns expose Purdy? Pretty much. Meet me at the Otter Creek. No, it's two different people. Sorry, it's Meet Me at the Creek, and there's Otter Creek. Yeah, they're always gonna. And then it's like it's not just a couple players on the Browns, but for whatever reason, the Deshaun thing, I don't know why they've seemed to zero in on him as just like the worst guy in the NFL. When I don't know, there's plenty of them. Oh yeah, yep, I did, Zach. You have to check out my recap, Zach. They run a little bit long because I was there in person. No whiteboards. Yeah, I think I would with Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts. I mostly because he's on my fantasy team, him and AJ Brown. So that's been a nice little combo. Oh no! Oh God, no, Zach. It's almost impossible to. I mean, like the first time I saw them was in 2021, and they've released like 11 albums since then. So let's see. Yeah, how is the latest stuff, Zach? It's hard enough keeping up with King Gizzard. They got a new one coming out tomorrow. You got a mom cut too, called me too. Like, remember that show Dharma and Greg? Earlier, I looked like Dharma. I was like, man, the girl I had, my high school girlfriend got this haircut. She looked really cute. Do I look really cute? Yeah, cool, Spud. I did see recently that got a handful of views, and I was like, oh, that's right. Spud said something about that. Oh yeah, it seemed like Antonio Brown's erratic behavior and the hits seemed to go hand in hand. I mean, I don't know if he was ever like normal and a well-behaved player, but including, I believe, some really devastating ones against the Bengals. Right? Didn't Vontez Burfict lay him out with like an illegal shot or something at least once? You rock the skullet. My concern. I mean, it's not. It's growing on me. I've gotten a little better with it. I don't like the eyes in the face thing, but like I said, if I just do that 800 to 1,000 times a day, I think I'll train it. Oh, good, Mrs. Spud and Spud. I'm glad because sometimes I was like, I don't know, maybe I was too. Maybe I should have. I feel like maybe I was a dick in that video. I don't know. I thought it was all in good fun. Oh no! Oh no! Not even close to a ponytail at this point. Ha! Well, Who I did look who Buffalo and Tampa Bay. I guess Buffalo. I feel like they're going to get back on track. I know they just lost to the Patriots, but I think it's great they lost that game to the Patriots the way they did. Now just a couple days later, they get to get that taste out of their mouth. Yeah, I thought that was the case with Perfect. Yep. There was a pretty nasty one on Chad Johnson. That was somebody on the Steelers laying one on Chad Johnson. I saw a really funny clip. It's on YouTube. You'll have to look it up. Chad Johnson tried to block Ray Lewis, tried to blindside Ray Lewis a little bit. Well, Ray Lewis obviously saw it coming, and at the last second, he turned and just like kind of ate the block. Like, he didn't really. He just basically let Chad run into him, and he gave it a little bit. Well, Chad got the worst end of it. He was out. And then when he ran off to the sideline, he was mic'd up, and it just got even funnier. Like he said something, he's like, something was wrong on that play, man. I don't know what happened. Ray hit me. And then the coach kind of laughed. It was like, you can't be hitting those big guys. And then somebody in the comment section said that Ray hit him so hard, he started coming up with conspiracy theories. And the way he said it, it did seem like, nah, man, something was wrong. That wasn't right, coach. I know I was going to block him. And next thing I know, I'm like, I got a concussion. I don't know what happened. Something wasn't right. Like somebody told him I was coming. The coach was just like, nah, dude, that's you. You're a little skinny wide receiver. You tried to take on Ray Lewis. He saw you coming, you dumbass. Minus 9.5, huh? That's a lot. That might be too much. But I don't ask me for a gambling advice. Yeah, good point, Max. That's what I was talking about, how like Myles Garrett is so young, and he was so young when he started. He's like one of them guys that got out of high school a little bit early and got started in college and then left college as soon as he could and got to the NFL. And he was one of the very few people as like a 21-year-old who was like physically just fit right in. All right, here. So I've went a little longer than I thought. Oh yeah, I watched that movie Hereditary. I guess now that we're almost 30 minutes in, I don't know if anybody has seen that. I mean, it was pretty. I had a friend that really was kind of hyping it up. It's just like one of the craziest movies ever. It was pretty wild. There's not a lot of movies like it. I will say that. Always give something at least the first thumb up for if it's like, oh, I haven't seen a lot of movies deal with things like this. So that was cool. Yeah, Professor Joe, he thought it rules. Should I just go right for Bo next, Professor Joe? Because I remember you reviewing the hell out of it, and you went from being like, to this movie's amazing. So, and I don't really remember anything you said if you did do any spoiling at all. So, or should I watch his other movie first and then go to, was it Bo is Afraid? Can't remember. Spud scared of that movie Hereditary? Or should I maybe watch one more of his before I go to Bo? Is Bo like you need to ingest some of this guy first? Ari Aster, is that his name? Something like that. Okay, you would watch that one first. Okay, Midsummer. Cool. Yeah, I liked it, man. I did really like Hereditary. And I thought, like, I don't know, man, because my friend, the movies he likes, usually we're on the same page, but yeah, like he gets maybe a little more blown away. Like he doesn't do gummies often, and then sometimes he'll smash some gummies and watch a movie like Hereditary and be like, dude, it's the most fucked up thing I've ever seen. He's also said that about like 30 different Billy Strings shows, though, too. He'll be like, dude, that was the craziest show I've ever heard. And then, like, 4 days later, he would say the same thing. And he means it every time. He fucking means it every single time. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. And I think maybe I don't know. I'm not as easily shocked or disturbed or startled as him. I'm so startled. He's startled. He's so startled. Maybe I'm not as startled as he is. He's left-handed. He gets startled easy. Heard that's a thing. Anyways, I don't know. Mary fell asleep right. I don't want to spoil anything, but right before the car accident, like she was drifting off and like, and then I like react and like, whoa, like she kind of remembers hearing me react, but didn't like have the energy to turn and look, and then she was like out. It did start a little slow, I'll say, in her defense, but Mary doesn't have a lot of patience, man. She wants Will Smith to just slap somebody right at the beginning. And she's like, what's going on here? I like this. Why'd he slap him? Just kidding, Mary. I love you if you watch this later. I think she's in there dealing with Rosie Rue. She might have fallen asleep again. I mean, she can fall out like that. We did have some Donatos. You're easily scared, would Cole say. George Panic is always fun. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Huber Heights Panic was fun. Tennessee Panic was fun. All right, fellas. Joe, thanks for stopping by. Cole, Zach, thanks for stopping in. You have to go back and check out the Nutter Center recaps if you got. You can give yourself about 20 minutes. They ran a little long, like I said. The first night of Chicago you can check out, and then everything else you can skip. I don't know. I got sick right in the middle of this run, so I was a little down and out by the end of Chicago. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for stopping by. I got through it. I was like, I don't know if these stream things are working out or not, but everything seems to be pretty cool. Give you a little written boom over here, and hopefully it looks a little better. Last night I kind of went back and looked at the live stream, and it was horrible quality. That Rose. Speaking of the devil. All right, guys, boom. We're out of here for about the 18th time. Jerry's lost finger, Max, Mrs. Spud. Thanks for joining the crew officially, Mrs. Spud. Michelle, of course, Brian. Randy. Forgot about Randy, man. I got to forget Randy and Cole. All right, guys, boom. We're out of here. Eddie, you're the man. How do I stop this? Oh, yeah, there's the X.